So the Taliban has strict rules. So this could lead to a big human rights and more specifically women rights crisis. Big consequences for women and girls in Afghanistan. So when the Taliban was last in power, from 1996 to 2001, education for women and girls was forbidden. Women could not work outside the home. They couldn't even leave the house without a male guardian to escort them. The cost of breaking those rules? Public beatings and even execution. So as Afghans face another takeover, what is this going to mean for women? We're going to bring in Marie Clark now from Women for Women. It's an international nonprofit humanitarian group that offers support to female survivors of war. Marie is the Vice President for Global Programs. Thanks so much for coming on with us. We know that you have a lot going on right now. You are talking with your personnel who are on the ground in Afghanistan. My understanding, you have more than 70 people there in country. When you're talking with them, what are they telling you is going on?
Thank you for having me and this opportunity to give you a peek into the window of the experience of our Afghan colleagues and the women that we've been serving. We've reached over 120,000 women in Afghanistan with our incredible work around women's economic empowerment and defending their rights and their ability to make decisions in the home. And working with male allies as well. And so it really is that sort of frontline women's rights work. So as you can imagine, as the Taliban came into the gates of Kabul or entered into the cities and the communities where we work, that it was really terrifying to our staff and our participants. And I realize this story follows the weather, but when I listened to my colleagues describe that first few moments of realizing that the Taliban were entering, it sounded like what we often do in this area to prepare for a hurricane or a blizzard. But the stakes are so much higher for Afghan women. But we are seeing those huge rush on the markets and on banks, on prices rising, and then people sheltering in place. And today, Kabul was much more quiet. All the banks have been closed. All the markets are closed. Every official government agency is closed. So we are seeing this situation evolve even minute to minute.
What is your understanding about what's next for the women there? Do we feel like this is Taliban 2.0, for lack of a better word, or do we feel like we're literally going to roll back the clock to 1996 to 2001?
We might see a bit of both, actually. So certainly what the Taliban leadership and political leadership have been saying globally is that they are Taliban 2021 and women will continue to get to go to school and to have jobs. But what we have experienced in some of the districts where we work that fell to the Taliban some time ago is that they will release a statement that will lay out the rules. And among them are that women can't leave the home without a male escort. And obviously that would be a huge step backwards for women. And at the same time, we are completely committed to stand with the women of Afghanistan and to pivot and find ways for us to keep that life-giving support, that important connection of women supporting each other and being connected and in the same space with each other as long as we can.
One last thing for you, Marie. I know that people can go to the website Women for Women International and they can donate. By making a donation, what will that do? How will that help women in Afghanistan?
In so many ways. So first of all, it helps us to protect our staff, which are at risk. If indeed we find that the Taliban are going to crack down against women's rights activism, our staff are the front lines of that response. But it also is going to enable us to provide things like phones that enable some of the most marginalized and impoverished women that we work with to be in touch with each other and with one another. We're going to be able to provide some kitchen garden kits and things we know when it's too dangerous to farm, that famine is on its way. So we can see ahead at the next big obstacles they will face, and we can provide exactly the tailored support that they need in order for them to stay safe.
Right.